What it do, what it do, what it do, world. Yo, WBOKRadio.com, the Encore Live Show. Y'all know who it is. It's the Young Original Gangster Imperial, the one and only, broadcasting live and direct to you from the DMV, that's the D.C., Maryland, Virginia region of this great country. Oh, man, you know who y'all talking to. I am the A&R for It's Gorgeous Music, doing great things out here for artists, broken out the deals. We're signing artists every day. I'm killing the game right now. We're loving it. But, you know, I represent that DMV, that D.C., Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia. You know all the area codes. You know all the places. We are worldwide. I want to give a shout-out to our dedicated listening audience tuned in right now to all 48 states, the 50 states and whole, the 4 territories, and the 45 countries tuned in right now. We love you. And you know I can't do my job without my beautiful co-host.
That's right, everybody. You know, the original official MySpace music diva, Miss Music, a.k.a. Marlene Bamacita, CEO of 813 Famous Video, and Florida representative of HHQ Magazine, and also Music A&R for Studios Do More Entertainment in Tampa, Florida. What's up, Yogi?
You know what it is. You know, that A&R work. Yeah. Everybody think they want the big boy seat into the responsibility that come with it. Woo! I'm telling you, Miss Music, I'm going to say for you, you've been A&Ring for quite a few labels for years. You know what I'm saying? You've been running your own music studio, videography studio, photography studio for years, and then an artist yourself and a performer yourself. Like, let me ask you this, because somebody asked me this question the other day, and I really didn't know how to answer. I was like, I don't know. But I want to ask you, do you think it's more difficult being an artist or an executive?
Yeah, I'd say probably executive.
Right.
Because with an artist,
there's a whole bunch of fun in being an artist.
Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know, there's a lot more behind-the-scenes work that an artist doesn't have to do that the executives do have to do, and a lot of paperwork, and that's just not their forte. So it's like, you know, we don't just have to do their job to an extent, but we have to do other jobs which they can't do. So it gets pretty, you know, but, you know, it all takes the artist to do their job and the CEO to do their job in order to have a successful artist.
Oh, believe me, you.
So, and if you have those two combinations together, you're going to have a successful project. So.
Oh, believe me, you. Artists we're speaking to tonight representing Florida out to 352, but calling from a very familiar area code for myself. The CEO of my label actually is out of Vegas and in LA, working with great platinum producers down there. And I wanted to bring on an artist. We've been stepping into this 2020 with a lot of madness going on. There's a lot of things that have been happening in 2020, but they're at the same time with the madness and chaos in 2020, I've been seeing a lot of focused artists utilizing the time properly to sharpen the craft, get their marketing up, get their promotion up, and stay on their radio interviews, sharpen up their videography and everything. But I wanna know what it's like for a flourishing artist in the midst of COVID-19 in the hip-hop world right now, especially being a bi-coastal artist. So I'd like to welcome. Now, before we started, I asked him, I said, look, I know your government name, but some people don't like being called by their government name on air. You know, like it's, you know, he's like, you know what? We're going to get into that tonight because a lot of people have been asking me what name I'm going to go by. So, without further ado, representing Florida out the 352, but calling in from the 323 out there in Los Angeles, Los Angeles, the city of angels, Califas. Brother, let the people know you're rocking with WBOK in the Encore Live Show right now. Say what's up to the people, good King.
Man, what it is, man, WBOK. You know what it is, Mr. Revolutionary Kid, leader of the Generation Changers, the leader of the Scar Unit, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Scar, a.k.a. Clay Hewitt, a.k.a. So Live, a.k.a. Work So Hard You Don't Got to Introduce Yourself, you know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do, we get into this tonight. We're talk about Scar, because Scar is what we leading off with. I think that we gave him the So Live movement, we gave him the Clay Hewitt movement, and now we on this Scar movement and this Graveyard Boy movement, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to WBOK for having me, though.
Oh, it's a bless for us, King. Like, that's one of our goals. We one thing I normally say in the introduction is that, you know, our goal, like one thing that makes our station, like our station, our affiliates, our broadcasting family, one thing that makes us really dope is that we find the best talent in the world, from around the country, from your region. If somebody's hot on your block, somebody's going to know somebody connected to WBOK radio, and you're going to be broadcasted live on the air. We're going to give homage to people that are out here working, man, and doing something positive when there's so many reasons to sit here and be like, you know what? It's about time for me to get negative. But for yourself, if I could start with the first question, what is your motivating drive in you being in entertainment? Like, what got you up in entertainment, man?
Basically, you know, it's crazy that everybody, what we've basically been torn into, you know, to what everybody's going through with what's going on around the world, with the revolution. You know what I'm saying? The evolution itself and self-revolution. You know, understanding that in this world what we're having is I see nothing but division. Whether it's basketball teams, baseball teams, schools, competitions, everything is a division. I never see where, you know, even though you win third place, you catch an award. So I feel as if unity was my movement, revolution was my spokesman, and standing for what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace, my family and everything that they went through for me to get here. You know, you sacrifice a lot to where you got to go. So just basically being myself. You know, I had a daughter at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the single parents out there that work hard to do this, because it's just not easy. It's just not easy. So just basically being myself and teaching my daughter that at one point in time I was a moniker of the Soul Live shit, and then I had to teach her, like, I had to be myself. So I showed up with Clay Hewitt, and basically the Scar movement is basically Clay Hewitt fell into a dream. Scar woke up, and now it's revolution time. But just look when Scar wakes up. Look what everybody going through. One time for the revolution.
Hey, yo, this brother's speaking this music. You hear this, King?
Of course, I hear. I hear. You know me. I like to hear the music. I like to hear the music.
Yeah, that's a lot of strong speech there, King. Let me ask you something. When you speak about revolution movement, what do you mean in particular by that?
I mean, let's be real. What's not being talked about in the mainstream media? Knowing that the basic unit of outlet media, that there's 5 companies that control everything that you hear, everything that you see. Being my own evolution to the people and giving their mind to think. Tupac Shakur said he might not be the one to start the revolution, but he's going to spark the mind of the kid that starts the revolution. I come from that cloth. I was born in the Bronx, New York. You know what I'm saying? And people don't know that Tupac was born there too. He started something revolutionary, and we forgot all about this with this drug rap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a lot of people forget about Pac's progress in his path. You know, a lot of people forgot that he was born in New York, you know, son of a Panther, you know, with a Fiend, with his father. A lot of people forget that before he ever even got on with Digital Underground, he was going to performing arts school in Baltimore, Maryland with Jada Pinkett Smith. They were classmates. They were best friends. And nobody.
Oh, yeah, that's why he wanted to get into acting and all that.
But nobody at the time. Well, he just wanted to find a platform to express himself.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're doing. Ball game. I'm telling you, Coach. Whoever listening out there, kids that go through this struggle, everybody. It's evolution.
Now I want to.
They weren't ready for Pac, though.
Now I wanted to ask you something, because I'm very big on on your vibe right now, like things you're speaking on and your passion towards them. Like everybody that knows Yogi 1AO, man. Like I'm very much big on charity. I'm very much big on utilizing the talents, utilizing like who I am. Like, you know, it's just little old me, but if people like me, or, you know, more people know who I am, and if I show up to an event, more people will come, then there's times where, like, you do that for up-and-coming artists. You know, you do an appearance or something like that. And not like I'm like that with it, you know what I mean? But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a little bit sharper in the game, you show up, more people will come. You know what I mean? But then, for me, I've always I saw very early on, like, man, hold on, there's power in this. Some people can't get 5 people to pay attention to them for 10 minutes. Of direct time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty.
Normal attention span is not that long anyways. Like, if you really think about it nowadays, like, you'd be lucky if you could keep my attention for 15 minutes, you know, without changing the subject. Like, honestly.
And that's what I was going to say is one of the beauties of being an entertainer, of being an MC, a songwriter, even if it's not hip hop, but being a creator, being able to see something, being able to sit where everybody else sees and where everybody else is like, man, ain't nothing to do. And then like a songwriter or entertainer's like, man, I'm about to write a song about what we're doing right now, how everybody's feeling right now, because if this is the way we feel, imagine how many people are sitting in the same position right now with no voice to it. And I personally came from that era, like, you know, I'm older, and I came from an era where you were expected to take part in your community. You were expected, like, I'm a big guy, so it's like, for me, I was expected to not be a bully, but to be a protector. Like, we still carry groceries for the old ladies on the block. You could be as gangster as you want, but nothing's more gangster than taking care of your community and being a go-to person for your community, young and old. And I love your verbiage. I love your verbiage, King.
Generation changes, man. I'm telling you, it's coming. Like, I just got this feeling, like, where I'm thinking it's a dream. Like, nobody's paying attention. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about 200 albums of music, one artist. Let's talk about. Well,
let's go. What got you? As you talked about, you participated in a few different groups, and you had not really a few different groups, but you were on a path. And the path from the group that you were participating in to where you're at right now, like, how does that work for you transitioning? Is it the same group of people, like your core business people, but you move on and evolve onto and with, like, stronger MCs, or does your business shift as you grow?
Basically, I mean, like, the cultivation of everything that has happened. You know, we were on tour with we had the chance to see firsthand artists like, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, Lil Peep, rest in peace, some of these great MCs, XXX Tentacion, where we were in LA, and we got to take part in some of these the visuals that you'll see posted online, and just seeing greatness in front of me and being a fan at first. I went to LA with on tour. I took off for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that knows the Revolutionary Kid story, I took off to LA, and just in that 2-year span, I managed to go from 50 albums to 200 albums of music. Now let me repeat that, because I know a lot of people didn't soak that in, because, you know, she just said that Miss Music said that we can't get their attention span. Let me just repeat myself. I said one artist released 200 albums of music to the people. Soak that in. Mr. Mitchell was talking about that. He told Miss Music and I, he was like, this artist is very young, but he said like, Miss Music and I, what we pay attention to the most, being executives, is the music, of course, is important. The content, the sound, everything else like that, the ear of the artist and what they create, but the work ethic is what we pay attention to the most. Because I'm pretty sure, as you know, as these opportunities start arising for you, some people think that as you get bigger, things get easier and you get to chill more. And as these opportunities arise, you're more stretched out. You have to be more places, and you have to be more responsible for your actions and your business more than just when you're just starting out, you know. But how have you balanced that? As your opportunities have come your way, how have you balanced, like, this is going to be a lot more work? Basically, work ethic don't stop. Don't go to work for somebody. Come home and sleep on your dreams. Make sure that you save just that much energy to come home and at least give your dreams at least an hour at a time, because it's that hour at a time that's going to change your life. And I just really believe that, like, somewhere along this whole, like, becoming an artist and a creative, I learned that my collective was you're as strong as your team. You know what I'm saying? And with that said, your team is as strong as its city. So if the city don't support the artists, which I do see a lot of, artists don't support artists. Like, I just want to say I love every artist doing this because I know what hard work is. I know what it is to get in there and write a song, mix it down, mix, master, engineer it. So it's just hard work matches hard work. Iron sharpens iron, you know?
You know, Miss Music, I got to give you what you want. I got to give the people what they want. This brother talking real strong. I love the verbiage right now. But, you know, this is a radio station. We can't, you know, we could talk all night. But the people want to hear some John Brown music. They want to see what it is with the young kid. Yeah. So let's see what we got in our goodie bag this evening for the good people. On Saturday, May 23rd, 2020, on the Encore Live Show on WBOKRadio.com with Yogi 180 and Miss Music. And this brother got 87 months. You know what? I'm going to call him Young Meth. Because I remember when Meth put out this album and he said, AKA. He went for like 3 minutes and had like 3 minutes of AKAs, AKA Johnny Blaze, AKA Iron Lung, AKA. You remember that joint?
Yeah, I remember
that. but like you, each and every monarch that Meth put out when he did that, those all fit him.
Yeah, I got some AKAs like that too.
We know Miss Music got some AKAs. We all, hey, ladies and gentlemen,
AKA Little Mama, AKA Baby Doll, AKA Lyrical Diva, AKA Lyrical Enchantress, AKA That Bitch, AKA A13 Rich, you name it. I just keep going on.
They hit me. I hit them with the AKA Bless, so I'm just
AKA
Miss
Music, AKA Marlene Balmacita, me shit. Oh, Lord.
Right. I want to know what's going on with this track, Buzzing.
Let's hear Buzz.
What track did he send you?
Buzzing Out.
Buzzing Out. Read the whole title. Buzzing Out of what? Is that gangster?
Yes.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Just say Buzzing Out of Florida. Buzzing Out of Florida. Clay Hewitt, gangster.
Yes.
They don't know about that Florida. They don't know about that Florida.
You know what it is? It's something in the water. We're gonna let them know. We're gonna let them know.
The shrimps are talking.
There's something in the water.
So we gonna get into this track. You want to let the people know where they're hearing it at and whose track it is?
Yeah, that's So basically, the gangster record. Shout out to the producer Don P. When I had admitted to purchase the beat, it was already sold. So it kind of was just like I had already done the video in L.A. But no, all love to Don P. And what he's doing. The beat is it's known as Gangster Online. It's a really dope instrumental. I just took off on it. Really appreciate y'all guys for listening, for having me. You know what I'm saying? One time for the graveyard.
Yo, let's get it, young. It's time to play some music. It's Saturday. We got to tune in and turn up, good people. It's WBOKRadio.com. We told you we're going to bring you the best. Let's get it, yo.
You know we doing on this side. Love, pay attention. Product of his environment. Walk raised in a group home. Make sure they call chasing greatness in my tombstone. Rise of the graveyard boys, I blow the roof off. Vision of a prophet, catch me swerving in that two-door. I make the block out, force them all to cool off. Judging by the competition, fuck them like too short. Money all summer, back up on my New York. And words, you better stop and shit out of love since a newborn. Ain't needle with the flow, I kick an overdose. If you trash where I'm from, you gon' get revoked. Worldwide, from Tokyo to the Poconos. Like drop the 16 with the track in the Biggie 4. Drop 100 albums, whoa, I had to let them know. Ain't rapping about my Rolex, I changed the world though. Toast to the OGs, pouring up the Merlot. drug rap, your kid is high as the stars. Tell the label I need a check thicker than Nicki Minaj. Not for real though. Tell the industry I want a deal though. Rappers all booty, they beats and all dildos. Roll them up like backwards, smoke them like the endo. The mixtape monster, hang the beat with my lymph notes. 4th and 1, 6 seconds to go, I'm in the end zone. Me in the studio, in the friend zone. You call them gangsters, live call them French toast. Love with the pump shotgun in the trench coat. 100 albums in, what the fuck, I was simple, that's gangsta.
Yo.
Pretty tight.
Yo.
Let's talk about it.
Yo. Hey, Miss Music. Hold on, Miss Music. Miss Music, you go first.
Yeah. Yeah, you caught me with that Nicki Minaj. I was like, ooh, ouch. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one. I was like, man, let me hear that shit.
I'm on the motherfucking industry ass, excuse my French, and pardon everything that I say over these records, but I promise you I'm not apologizing for shit because I'm sticking with what I'm saying.
Yo.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it a bun. I gotta keep it a bun, right? I gotta keep it a whole bun with you, right? About 3-4 years ago, I actually utilized that same track with a Jamaican artist, like with a reggae artist. I did it for promotional use only. Like under my YouTube, there's like a little like me in the booth like recording my verse to that. But
okay,
so like for me, that's great. That's great track selection. Like I know you have a great ear.
Bro, I appreciate that. Just the platform of the love. The reason it was questions before you had, and it was just digging inside of me to give you the answer. You were like, yo, why so many names? Shout out to my big bro, Financial Records back in L.A. and Kool Keith. I don't know if y'all. There's a lot of artists that will fly over their head. They don't know who Kool Keith is. But I was in the studio with Financial Records, and they got me on a few records with Kool Keith. And Kool Keith gave me the idea that you can be as many artists as you want. If you know anything about Kool Keith and how many names he had, he worked the industry and he's still getting money with this. So shout out to Kool Keith for inspiring the Graveyard Boy to switch the names. You know what I'm saying? And just not being able to be on a record. And shout out to the Financial team out there, Uncle Swamp, and just a dedicated movement that I was out there with in L.A. So just to answer your question, that's where the name switch up came from. I could be whoever I want with this music. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's my bad. I'm playing. That brother he's very intentful on what he's saying. He's not playing. There's no games right now.
Yeah,
let me ask you something.
It's crazy. Like, a lot of people are like, yo, if you don't got video footage of all this stuff that you're talking about, you was in L.A. and you was working with these people, it never happened. Well, video footage coming soon. Shout out to Samsung phone because my Samsung phone broke. Yeah, I support Android. I still got the iPhone, but, it broke, so I couldn't share the footage. But I got all of the video footage, and we just going to start dropping it on Facebook. Just understand that the movement here, we come, and we really appreciate the platform and all the love in the city.
So what would you say would be like a goal for you and your team?
Right now? The goal for me and my
right
team,
now or overall?
I mean, to be honest with you, this is for the unchosen youth, for the kids out there growing up with you know what I'm saying, just whether it's disabilities, whether you're dealing with whether bullying, whether it's teen suicide, whether it's like these kids out here just growing up. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be real. What's really going on in the world? We need to protect these kids, straight up. Generation changes. That's my main goal, is to protect the kids of the world and give them a positive influence on what they need to grow up. To teach them rule number one is respect. You know what I'm saying? Love and loyalty, and instill the pillars of life that they're going to need, because one day us as parents are not going to be there for our children. So parents, if you're listening, I don't see bad children. Ain't no bad kids out there. It's bad parenting. And I'm going to stand on that shit because I'm a parent. And when my child is wrong, I got to stand 10 toes on that. And when you punish your child, you punish yourself. So if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. And remember what I told you. Remember, I'm in their face with this music shit, and I told you, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you, and keep it positive for these kids. Because the world don't give a fuck about what's happening and what's going on in the real world. And one of these little videos you see going viral, everybody taking their phone out and laughing, that could be your kid one of these days. Pay attention. Generation.
Well, see, I preach to, not preach because I'm not spiritual but not religious, but I preach to my artists. Like before I sign an artist, like some people think that like I sign artists really fast. They're like, man, you sign like a lot of artists every week. And I'm like, but it's not fast. Like I've known these guys and been around them and watched them grow for like 5, 6, 7 years, going to their little shows, like when they first start putting on their own shows, like when it's really like, and watching them be disappointed but seeing what they do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've watched these guys grow, but like with that, it's like for your growth and having a direction for a whole movement, does it make people like approach you different? Because like, do you feel like it's hard for people to talk to you because like some people are like, man, I can't wait till I get off. Like you said, I can't wait till I get off and just like not do anything for the rest of the day. And you're like, you mean you ain't gonna put no effort towards any of your goals?
Yeah, man. I just, you know, I'm gonna tell you, it's a great question you asked that. It makes it real hard for me to sit around and not individualize myself with people who are hungrier than I am. So I try to help people and facilitate that in some people. But some people don't see that in themselves. And then they'll say, well, you know, being around you, it helps me. They gain that energy. But sometimes it's not enough energy to start the car and move it. Because one of the tires might be flat because some of the things are been wrong with the engine or the car's been hurt. You just got to remember that you got it in you. And I don't care who's listening. Somebody listening to this will inspire somebody. You got it.
And that's what I preach to my artists. I tell them, pay attention to your flock. Remember that phrase, birds of a feather flock together. If you're working diligently at your craft and you're gaining higher ground, you're making more money, you're learning to monetize, you're learning to progress in like the industry, and the people that you hang out with when you're done doing all that don't do any of that. They just want to hang out, chill, smoke, drink, play, you know, games and, you know, all that. Like that's, you should, it's not that it's not like change your flock or get rid of people, but as you gain momentum and success starts to become just something like it's not that you expect it, but it just happens because you're working. You know, like they say, no hard work will go without gain. Like it doesn't work like that. But when you do that, people will just stop hanging out because they're going to want to chill and you're going to want to go handle business. And because you handle your business, you're gonna be able to like, hey man, what y'all doing Friday? Like, probably what we're doing right now. It's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Like, why? Like, I don't know. I was gonna fly out to Hawaii, do a show, spend the weekend there, be back Monday for work. You want to go? They'd be like, oh, I would, but I'm not motivated enough to do things to be capable of. Like, you're my homeboy, but that's not your flock. If your flock aren't people that are successful, if your flock aren't people that are motivated, they don't have to be involved. Like a lot of people that I chill with have nothing to do with music or entertainment, but they're successful people. But nothing was handed to them. They worked, they ground, they built something like themselves. And so our conversations are similar. You know what I mean?
You got to be able to, everything you said was right. You know what I'm saying? Like the inspiration of when you say flock, for the people that are around you, iron sharpens iron. So, you know, it's literally like you got to be surrounded by what you want to become.
See, I've been being selfish. I know Miss Music got some questions. Miss Music, what you want to holler about him about?
No, I mean, I agree. You know, you can't. That's why a lot of people do hang out with the people they hang out with, because they do similar things. So if you're in the wrong crowd, you're in the wrong crowd, you know. You do better away from a crowd, then that's where you need to, you know, be at. So, like you said, it just all goes down to what people's motivation in life is to get out and get some, get something. When people want to sit at home, just expect it to come to them, or whine because they don't have it. But then you got people like us every day that we don't want to get up, we don't want to do it either, but we still get up and get it done.
Oh, grinding. The CEO of my label told me, because there's no junior A&Rs, the CEO of my label told me on like a conference call with the other executives, he was like, okay, he's like laid out everybody's expectations, like what was expected from everyone in their positions. He said, I expect you to sign 100 artists. He's like, if you don't sign 100 artists, I expect you to speak to at least 100 artists a day. On top of everything else that I do, and I do. You have to. It's what we say, the difference in between the business of music and the music business. Some people are dope, but they're not ready to like the King We Have One Now said. He's like, I left for 2 years, but I went to go work on my music and I progressed. Some people can't do that. Some people are dope. They make really good songs, but they're not prepared to like go to Europe for like 3 years to like build their fan base and get their money up and and then come back to the States and then, chill for like a couple months, but then launch, like now their name is up, now their money is up, now they can afford to like compete with like a major artist. It's like, well, how much for Madison Square on Thursday? It's like, well, we have a bid for like 1.5.
Artists don't realize too, Yogi. Artists don't realize too, they make the most money is traveling overseas.
Yeah, oh yes, you do.
That's where they make the most money at, and that's where they're gonna get the most exposure. So, other countries buy into music so quickly. And you get consistent bread. You get consistent bread overseas. Like, not to bring up nothing, but, like, homie asked, he said, like, what kind of things we're going to talk about on the show? And I told him, like I tell everybody, we don't get in the dirt and anything else like that, but I will ask you. Look at R. Kelly.
I'm not talking about no John Brown, Robert.
R. Kelly was blackballed. Listen, he was blackballed in America with his music because of all the crap, right? Who was paying him to go do shows overseas? The
little Skittle mouth boy from New York. What's his name?
I don't know. And then
the boy that told
they got Evander Holyfield and fucking Tyson fighting in Dubai. Saudi Arabia. My bad. Saudi Arabia coming up. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, the homie was speaking about culture, about how things go.
But overseas pays for entertainment.
Exactly. Right now, the little rainbow mouth boy, with the long hair and everything,
go hand in hand.
He can't do a show here in the United States right now, but he's getting booked overseas for like $300,000 and $700,000 a show. Overseas, fresh out from snitching.
Man, fuck all of that snitching bullshit. The generation. Fuck you mean, man. Fuck all of that snitching ass shit. We on top of this shit. What time we on? We ain't cutting our mouth. We ain't shutting our mouth. It's fuck the other side. The fuck time we on? Generation change.
I concur.
I was the most controversial bitch online.
I can't say all that, but the exact way you said that, that's how I feel about that.
We ain't finna jump on the radio and even get that no energy. What time we on? New York, LA. What time we on? What body is like. What time we on? Everything is going. It's all a go. We on a whole industry ass pause. Generation changes, graveyard boy shit. Back to us, because that's what time we on. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. We care about what time we on, because we the wave. We the wave coming. Trust. Free Roddy Rebel. You know what I'm saying? Free the 9. Word up.
I just filmed him, Yogi. That was it. I just happened to be there to film it,
Yeah, I'm up.
But I'm not going to lie, I ain't going to lie, bro. On an artist level, do be killing them shows. I mean, the music is hot. That's the only thing I can say when it comes to speaking on that subject of the Rainbow.
Man, we're going to crank some music.
Hold up 2 seconds. Because it wouldn't be right if I ain't put it on time. I can't even let that shit ride. Rest in peace, Nip. Fuck all that.
The streets definitely will handle that.
Like, for real shit. Rest in peace, Nip. and fuck all that snitching ass shit. And that's on my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't even promoting that shit. Niggas
Yo, we got the Graveyard Boys.
Real niggas dying out here in the streets. Real niggas dying out here in the streets for that bullshit. Fuck all of that shit, man. Rest in peace, Nip, man.
I think the people that really got the right to talk is the people that are involved in the situation. So, it's a very touchy subject.
I think it's like this. I
feel bad for the families out there and stuff like that.
Let's keep it a buck. Street shit is street shit. That's how it is. You engage in the streets, you engage in the streets. Any real street motherfucker will tell you. Street shit happen to street motherfuckers, and then you gotta go and you gotta be street about some street shit. So street shit plus street shit equals street shit. Let's be real. It's the wave, man. Free the nine, Street Roddy Rebel, free the wave, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Free JS9.
He says squad.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the real ones that ain't say shit. Free the nine.
Yeah.
He says squad.
I'll tell you on that one.
I'll tell you on that one. Crazy? We got a generation promoting that shit to these kids, and these kids gonna think that shit's safe. I'm gonna tell these kids that ratting shit ain't safe. I don't care what the fucking police tell you. They tell you that shit's safe. Your ass get done out here. This shit ain't safe for these kids. And everybody promoting that shit, laughing like it's funny in the fucking videos, bro. Ain't shit sweet out here. Real niggas is dying. Rest in peace, Nip. You know what I'm saying? Real motherfuckers is out here dying for this shit. That shit is not cool, bro. And I'm not even going to jump on this radio shit and entertain that shit. Generation change.
That's real. That's real as fuck, though. That's some real shit right there. You know? That's some real knowledge. And people don't stop to think about that, you know? Or other lives that have been lost before, you know?
Let's keep it offended.
From all the wars.
Labels, bro. It's these labels promoting that shit. Because don't no real street shit promote that shit. And y'all guys getting killed out here, bro. So if we going to get up on this motherfucker and talk about some real shit, let's talk about this real shit. The revolution coming. Remember my motherfucking name. Remember my fucking voice, yo. Yeah.
So let's get on it. Let's get on generational. Like, with your influence thus far, have you, like, I know a lot of MCs that, like, I was talking about, like, myself, like, first out. Now, I did a lot of charity work. Did charity shows, gave money away to, like, kids that, like, had debilitating diseases, just, like, helped families out of nowhere that had no idea who I was. And I would make sure that they knew it came from MCs, though, right? So, like, I find that more with, like, artists, that they do, like, community activist work as well, so that the community knows who they are, like you spoke about earlier. You can't expect a city to support you if you don't support your city. Like, what type of things do you promote with your brand and your name to, like, give back and, like, and spread the positive influence?
Peace and love. You can't fight war with war. And that's what they taught us from the gate. When you go to school, what do they teach you? One side fought the other. Pick up and fight for what you want. Oh, they knocked some shit down. Let's go over there and fight. You cannot match war with war. You got to preach love to these kids and understand that these kids are still people's sisters and brothers. Kids out here executing and shooting people, and we're not preaching the truth to these children. That's what I'm on, giving the truth to these kids. You know why kids come up to me? Still from 14 all the way to 29, 30, 40 years old. Yo, Live, you spitting that heat, bro. You spitting that shit that's really out here happening in these streets. Kids out here dying just the other day, just a few days ago. Kids out here dying, and nobody's preaching to these kids that this shit's real life. They live in a false sense of reality because of this social media ass shit. They think it's all pictures and likes and social media. This shit is not funny at all, bro. I'm on some real shit, and that's what I want to be respected for. What I stood for while I was here, and not when they bury me like everybody else, coattail Nip and coattail Pop Smoke, rest in peace Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. I want to be respected for what I did while I was here. 200 tapes are running, and I'm starting this revolution shit and talking my shit while my feet are on the ground. That's what I'm doing. It's for the kids, bro.
That's what it do. Man, the music. I think he answered the question quite well. Quite well. I appreciate your honesty. Like, you definitely are passionate about what you're doing, and I appreciate that.
It's just, you know what it is, man? It's just a deep love for this hip-hop shit and where hip-hop is gone. Like, I just want to take 1 minute, 1 second to tell everybody, just think about, I mean, granted, you wasn't from the generation we was from, but the people that were from the generation that we was from, look at where our children are at, bro. Look at where our children are at. Stop playing, bro. When are we going to put some positivity into the children and be like, yo, put the phones down and understand that you can't be acting like that in the streets, because if you go out there, you're going to do something to somebody, and that daddy going to have to go out there and smack the shit out of somebody when somebody screams, world star, because you ain't finna world star my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like Boosie said, I'm finna kick you in the jaw, drop kick. You ain't finna catch a world star on one of mine. So you got to teach your kids what to do now before they go outside and get disrespected, and then you get sent to jail for something that you got to do to somebody else.
Exactly.
Rule number one, respect. And that's on everything. Rule number one is respect for everybody. You respect everybody, you love everybody, and you pour into their cup. And you don't talk to them or at them. You talk with them and stand aligned with them, because everybody's equal, bro.
True that. Amen.
I don't know. I believe that there's the gods. You know? There's the ones that see the light. There's the ones that see the path. There's the one that embrace the work. That there's the ones that embrace the lashes on the back as they push forward to get messages out, to get movements started, to keep movements going. Like I believe there's walking gods out here that really strongly influence people's spirit, heart, drive. Sometimes by leading by example, sometimes from the positive, sometimes from the negative, sometimes just their path and growth being seen by someone, like you said, younger, sometimes older. Like as an MC, I've had people older than me that were like, I appreciate that track you made. You know, I'm like, I appreciate that, OG. You know, I'm like, thanks. You know? But it also hits me when like younger people are like, yo, that Joan, like I like that. I'm like, I appreciate that very much. But it's like what you're speaking on is something that I talk about sometimes. Whenever I go to like live shows, I always tell the artists, like, be careful of, like, as you get larger, be careful to be aware of your influence. Because as you get larger, that means that more people are paying attention to you. And nobody has to be a role model, you know, unless you choose to do that. But there is, I believe, a responsibility as an entertainer to do something that shows children positivity. If it's in your drive, if it's how you handle your business, if it's how you came from where you came from and getting through adversity and being constructive instead of destructive in your life. Like, things like that come from MCs and artists that create their own path and that gain momentum and gain success. And that's why, like, I was not trying to joke with you, King. I meant no disrespect. But, like, the passion from you and what you're saying, I definitely understand. There's a lot of people out here that's why they succeed, is because they can't help it. They can't, you know, they get up, the first thing they're thinking about is, like, the last thing they didn't get to do last night.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the world we live in, bro. Like, it's let's be real to the world we speaking to. These platforms are given to us, so let's increase the influence to people's mind instead of taking away. Because I feel like what's happening is right now we got a generation of kids that are told by grown-ups to be grown, and some of these grown-ups out here ain't even grown themselves. And then some of these kids, they got to raise their kids because they have kids early, and we don't know what's wrong with our generation. I think when we literally look within ourselves and we admit to our responsibilities and have heed to our responsibility to see what we're doing and how it promotes it and how it sheds light upon it.
Well, see, I think what happens is...
Like a plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize that a child will listen not to parents, teachers, police, you know what I'm saying? They don't want teachers to listen to nobody, but they'll listen to their iPad or their iPhone 45 hours a day with any new album that they feel on YouTube. And guess what that does? That child embraces a whole new influence. People don't understand what they're doing, especially to their child when they handing them these little destinations to get online and avenues to become a different person. In our time of generation, you didn't have that. They gave you newspaper, and the kid wasn't picking up newspapers. And the kids that were drawing and doing cartoons, because if they was picking them up, it was for the funny page. Let's be real.
I was taking them to the car wash and doing windows for $1.
Yeah, let's just let our minds be. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take it for real what it is. A 9-year-old standing right now is a 25-year-old in 1960. Let's be real. That's how far advanced the knowledge format of life is. A 25-year-old grown man or woman in 1965 is the same pertaining to a 9-year-old child. Think about it. That part. I'm not saying that they can go and buy property and saying of such, but I tell you something, there's a lot of things that a 9-year-old child could teach a person that didn't know what they were doing in 1960 and 1950. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Because I always hear my dad talk about that shit all the time, and that bitch is like 75 years old.
You know what I mean? Let's just
talk about his daddy and shit like that in Oklahoma.
It's an honest conversation. It is an honest conversation. Yep. These kids nowadays are so far advanced, so far programmed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so far behind.
Well, I think that goes to your statement that you made earlier. It's like we had this statement like in the military that there was no such thing as a bad soldier. There's no such animal as a bad soldier. There's only bad sergeants. Because it's a sergeant's job to train a soldier and make sure that they're tuned up to be successful. Like exactly. You're their career guide in their professional life and in their private life. You make sure that their finances are straight. You make sure that they have a good home life going, that their mentals are straight. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that they lack in, you take the time to mentor them. You go on the weekends with them. If they suck at push-ups on their PT, then you go on the weekend and you go pick him up and you go work out with him until he gets his numbers up. But some people only apply that type of ethic. Like I think what happened is we've been taught to divide so much that we accept it. Where even when it comes to street. Right? Even when it comes to like street code, if the code and ethic to protect a community, right? If that ethic was put into protecting humanity, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, by far.
Like if those efforts were extended to everyone that needed help, not just the community. But I do like I'm from San Diego. I was born in San Diego. Lived in Texas, lived in Chicago, then I moved out to the East Coast, lived overseas for a bit. But like where I grew up, it was definitely community. You know, and I'm talking like I'm old, so it was different. Like we were street light kids.
Exactly.
Drink out of water hoses and stuff.
What's crazy about that? Because you say that they don't understand what that is. You can't ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar no more. Let it marinate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we went outside. Like we were outside. We did not play video games. Like you didn't like in my era. You didn't ask your parents for anything. Nothing.
Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this music. Let's talk about this energy. There's some of these world records that I'm setting and nobody's paying attention.
I got one right now queued up. I'm ready to play though.
What this one is? What he sent you? Because I asked him just now what he sent you. He didn't respond.
The Graveyard Boy.
I'm listening.
Oh, hold on a second.
Graveyard Boy.
I'm just gonna play it. I want to hear your commentary afterwards. He's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I want to play it. I want to play this track. Let the people know who you are.
I support any of the songs. We good.
Huh?
I said I support any of the songs. We good.
That's what I'm saying. Let the people know who you are.
Man, it's a revolutionary kid. Generation change. Clay Hewitt, also known as So Live. Leader of the Graveyard Boys. Scar.
Yo, and we live and direct on the Encore Live Show. We about to give them some of that young, great energy. Yeah, let's listen to some music, Miss Music. Audience, y'all ready? Let's crank.
Let's do this.
It's 2017. I'm saying, can I get a minute of your time? What's your name?
like Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I'm from them.
Ferris wheel spinning on the radio.
With Fontana. Nah, I ain't from it. I'm BX, man.
Have you ever seen everything you ever wanted?
Yeah.
But it don't even matter no more, no
I ain't
more.
from Cali, man.
Fantasy is no better flame, ain't no burning. Just saw you and my everything is looking different. My dream girl, ain't my dream girl no more.
Your brother calling me shit.
'Cause I saw her that when I wake up I see
Tell me
her.
how
That is good.
She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel. She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I ain't going nowhere, nowhere. That is good.
She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I did not say
She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
that though she's imperfect, she's perfect for me. Oh,
Challenge 2017. It's like a dream. Challenge love. Let's take this flight and hit this Ferris wheel. Like the Dutch, you tripped and on the L. Like the pistol conversation cell. Saw you standing, you was all alone. Ducked off in the cup, brother, on your phone. It's my opportunity to say hello. She from Fontana, I ain't from Cali, though. Just calling a challenge just to watch your show. Staring in your eyes, you smiling, no. Told me that you had to protect your bros. And I told you I'm different, I don't fuck with hoes. I respect the females, that's just how it goes. Smoke the highs and stay away from lows. Mix the lemon with the dose and go. You an angel, baby, beautiful. Just grab my hand and we can take it slow.
my dream girl, ain't my dream girl no more.
You'll never understand greatness.
'Cause I saw her that when I wake up I see her.
Still spinning. She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel. She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I ain't going nowhere, nowhere. That is good.
She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I did not say
She got me spinning like a Ferris wheel.
that though she's imperfect, she's perfect for me. Oh, perfect for me.
Hey, yo, stop playing. Yeah, hold on. See, like, I'm not surprised at the production or the quality of the music, but the directive and conversation earlier before this track played, you would not think that, like, you would hear that from you. That cranks right there. That's some please tell me that's like dropping soon, so like while it's getting sunny and people are allowed to go back outside. So I can have the windows down on the I need the windows down on the Faylene cranking that right there through the streets.
That right now is on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. Shout out Urban Blend. Shout out Manny. Shout out Nick Major. Shout out the whole Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? I got a real nice little look for the toss and the alley-oop and the placement. So yeah, man, that's everywhere right now. The video is gonna be dropped real soon. I should just send the video to you and let you drop that exclusively tomorrow. How about that? We can do that tomorrow.
I would love to drop your video.
That's gotta be
Because like Miss Music and I, when we hear certain tracks, it's like for me, I hear tracks and I don't work to critique a track. I just see if I like it, what I do like about it, what I don't like about it. But like some tracks, like, you know, as an A&R, I have to pay attention to that first 3 to 6 seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna have that one on your playlist. You're like,
that first 3 to 6 seconds, it has to capture me enough to want to listen to what else happens. And I love the like I'm a producer. Like I'm a producer head, so like I love the different ways of the build of tracks and the way that built up into like that was like sheet music right there. That was like sheet music. You could do that with the big band. You could do that with string symphonies, the whole orchestra right there, and you could see someone conducting that while the vocalist, and you were like just killing that right there. Like that's what I like. When I hear really good songs, I visualize what I would think the video would look like to that. I mean, like that don't caught my attention and had me thinking about what the video would look like. I was like, oh, this is smooth. I like this.
Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the video. Man, shout out to my homie Babkett in L.A., Liam Heiss, you know what I'm saying, Mac Hill, just my real big homies with the cameras that was out there while we was running for 2 years. Shout out to Babkett because he never really got the look he really deserved for this video, but Babkett shot him a really, really, really dope treatment for the Ferris Wheel video, and we shot it on the Santa Monica Pier with the drones. And
that's beautiful out there.
It's coming soon. I promise you guys. Just give me time. I'll give it to you like this. I'll give it to Miss Music. I'll give it to you to drop that. I just need y'all guys' official drop date and let me know. And it's ready for you. We got the video online ready to go. So, shout out to California, though. You know what time it is, man. Like, I just miss Hollywood. I miss home. If you guys are listening back home, just understand that we're on tour with this shit, and this shit don't stop because of this virus shit. We really, really pushing this music, and I'm really glad and appreciated that you guys love the music, because without the love from the fans and the people, I wouldn't be myself. So I love you guys back.
Miss Music, you have to tell the people what you thought about that track right there.
Oh, I loved it. Like, and to hear the fact that he was so versatile, like, I just love versatility when it comes to artists and their creations. So to be able to hear they have something else to offer, just besides the bars, I was like, wow, I like this. I like what I'm hearing. I totally love, like you said, he played that part. The song was awesome, put together properly. I totally would love, like you said, add that one to the playlist. And we definitely have to get, if he decides he wants to drop that to us, definitely have to get his permission to put all his music that we featured even tonight on the Jukebox app on WBOK Radio. That way, any of our fans that are listening tonight can go back and preview his song here on the radio station if they would like to.
Yeah, I definitely want to give this to you guys because I've been holding off on this video, and I promise you it's something special, like the aerial movements from the music where it hits.
Miss Music, the only thing.
The energy, and I really want to give it to you guys.
Miss Music, I have to be honest, okay? Like, it's not fair to our listeners if I'm not honest, and, I owe it to them to be honest, right? The only thing I do not like about that track, and you might not like hearing this, but I'm sorry I have to say this on air, but I just hate that you're not signed to my label. I hate that part. I don't like that song because of that. I'll still support it. I will support you. I will support the song. I will support the movement. But you will know when I see you, you'll be like, "What's up, yo?" You like, "What's up, man? How you doing? You still happy? Still happy? You sure? You sure?"
When we get off the phone, I'll put it to you like this, because I've been looking for a label to justify what we're really doing. And it's not that my label is not doing what they're doing, but I'm looking for something to push where I can take my team to the next level. And I told Urban Blend what we're doing. I didn't sign a record deal. I signed a single distribution deal. So if the label's out there listening and they like what they're hearing, just understand that I know what I'm worth. I know there's a budget that's worth what I'm doing, and I'm going to take my label to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring the people that I told I'm going to bring with me, and I'm going to impact the people when we drop. And I'm telling you right now, online, there's 200 albums of music. The label doesn't have to do anything for me. The videos is there. The music is there. Drop the budget, drop the contract, and let's put it on video for the world to see. Let's drop it on World Star for the world to see that there's really
World
something
Star.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
That's what I'm talking about. If this conversation is real, then the label that you're talking about tonight, I'll get a phone call from this label.
Tell them, we don't deal with the World Star. We're above World Star, honey. We're gonna take you to like Sirius Radio and all that. You feel me? Billboards.
So not to make it about
put you down, but we don't have World Star.
We're not opportunists.
You way past World Star material. You feel me?
We're too known.
He's like RCA
we're
and
like to
Columbia.
Do that to an artist. It's like before, I'm gonna tell you for instance, right? The last two artists that I signed, right? Before I approached them and told them about what the opportunity was, I tutored them and I consulted them for free and I walked them through some of them. One of them, it was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. He was hitting me like, yo, so how do I register for Sound Exchange? I'm a part of the community now. I chose BMI. I'm like, that's dope. Is everything copywritten? He's like, I sent it all off as a book of poetry. So every song is a chapter in the book of poetry. So he only pays 1 fee to have his whole album copywritten.
Thank you for the knowledge.
I'm like, okay, so you need to register. Okay, you got your BDI. I'm like, so you have your BMI, cool, and you copywritten everything, cool. You trademark your brand, cool. Did you get your Sound Exchange? He's like, yo, how much is that? I'm like, it's going to cost you some time to sit down and do it. But if anybody's ever told you to submit music to radio, to FM for spins, if anybody's ever told you to submit music, because a lot of artists, like we submit our artists, like I can't say the brand that we distribute through, but we don't one area our artists. Like we build relationships for sponsorships with liquor companies and distributors and brands, and we make sure our artists get like paid for everything they do. Everything they do. And that's our job, is to broker all of those things for the artists. Like you said, some artists don't know, so they get got for like a year or two until they figure out that they could have done half these things themselves and it didn't cost any money. And I, like, as an MC, I hate seeing that as I see talented people lose interest and lose momentum because they're getting beaten up by people that are getting them. And it's difficult. It is. No matter how strong you are in it, unless you have, like, good people around you already that have tenure in the game, that are educated in business, marketing, financial management, people with degrees, not just somebody that you know that talks good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's difficult to navigate it when you're first starting out and then still keep momentum and still stay positive towards, because some people, like you with your momentum, some people might believe that, oh, he just started out, he jumped out the pot on fire. It's like, no, you had to learn, you had to mold yourself, you had to learn, like, etiquette, you had to learn, like, okay, I want to make a song, so I'm going to go to the studios. Okay, so you want a producer and the engineer there, or do you just need, like, a dope producer, and, like, what are you going to do with it once you're done making it? And you're like, man, I just want to go in the studio. And that developed into, like, oh, I'm a brand.
Yeah, so 2 seconds, 1 second. You were just saying, like, you know, you need an engineer and a producer. I just want everybody to know something about myself. At an early age, they told my mother that I would never be able to read or write because I had a disability. So music was basically, you know, my go-to thing. And my mom's, no joke, all jokes aside, mom's bought me this thing called Hooked on Phonics, right? Sat me down and said, I'm going to teach you to read. You're not going to be stupid. So I said, all right, Mom, whatever. Right? She would leave. I didn't really get the Hooked on Phonics thing, but she had these stack of CDs. Fuji's The Score, Nas, It Was Written. Shit of that nature. Some really good music. You know what I'm saying? So here's what I started doing. I started diving into these CDs. The Cranberries, you know what I'm saying? People like Cher and people like Elton John and people, just different
legends.
Just different genres of music that I have never. My mind, and this is crazy that I'm speaking of this because this is how in depth music changes a child. I never looked at the reading and the writing of the aspects of how to do it. So I would turn the music on,
and I would bang. I would move to the beat, but I would be easier to listen and read what I was doing, and I would focus a little bit easier.
You would set your metronome.
Just understand exactly. Just understand. It literally taught me how to read, how to write, how to make sure everything that I was doing and I was creating, wasn't like the
music gave your heart and your mind a metronome. Like the beat of music is a metronome.
It was crazy because and I would love this challenge. Any album, any song, you can drop a song in front of me and I'm gonna be able to spit you those bars, as if I just got out of the booth. There's 200 albums of music, so this music, the way I got to speaking is within rhythm through music and learning these, literally dropping these songs. Nas, it was written, Fuji's the score. You can drop those albums, and I know them verbatim. And it's just crazy how music influenced me to listen a little bit deeper.
So who would you say are your top 5? There's a lot of people debating. There's a lot of quarantine debates going on, and people talking about top 5. So I'm gonna ask you separate. Top 5 male MCs of all time, living or gone.
I'm gonna say Big Pun.
Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna say
Get in the middle of Little Italy. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Black Thought.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for acknowledging the Lyricist Lounge.
I just want to say, I think Jada Kiss.
Nice, good one. Very good one. Bars.
I want to say Immortal Technique.
Ooh, good. Ooh, okay.
And I want to say Scar. And if you haven't listened to any of Scar's music or Solar's music or Clay's music, I think you all sleeping.
Good plug, King.
I think you all crazy sleep. And if you ain't put me in your top 5, an artist that drops 2 albums and in 2 albums he can give you 706 songs on 2 albums and not even be close to that top 5 mark or in the top 30, I think the game is sleep. And I think I've been asleep too long, and I got the game in the chokehold. And now that y'all paying
attention, placement, King. I think it's placement. We can have a conversation.
It's trying to wake up the industry, man.
Top 5 female MCs.
Top 5 female MCs. Wow.
Here, passed away or alive?
You say passed away or alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5 female MCs. Damn. Female MCs. Is that new age? Like,
doesn't matter. I'll start off with one that should be in that category, right? Because some people went into like you said, they got easily influenced by the media because what was pushed in front of them, it made them decide this one or that one. But they forgot about I'm gonna say it, Missy Elliott.
Okay.
Queen Latifah.
You give me your top 5 and I give you mine. Go ahead.
Oh, Missy Elliott, Queen Latifah, Nonchalant, MC Light, and I gotta say, as a bar person, I really it's like a toss up in between. I really like Raw Digga. I like her delivery, but at the same time, in her era, the Brat was really killing it. So
okay.
but then I still love Michelle A and a lot of the great female MCs, but I'm just talking about my top 5.
Okay.
Oh, and of course, and because she gonna stab me because she lives in Florida, and you know what happened in Florida? Y'all be doing that crazy stuff, making people feel pains in their side 3,000 miles away. And Miss Music is one of my favorite top 5 female MCs ever.
Okay.
She quiet. She said, "You better have said my."
I'm gonna say Lauryn Hill.
Oh, good one. Oh, you got me with that one. I forgot about. I didn't forget about it, but I didn't say her.
Yeah, I think Lauryn Hill slept on.
Oh yeah, most definitely. She is a monster, and she can sing.
I mean, y'all forgot Foxy too. You know, Foxy.
I don't know.
Lil Kim, Foxy.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm talking like lyrical. I'm talking about like lyrical and like real content wise, not just like era wise.
Raw Digger, definitely. MC Light, you know, you go back to some of the people back in the day. I mean, Queen, you know, she did her thing, but I like
he said Lauryn Hill. I'm waiting for the rest. I'm waiting for the rest.
Elliott, you know, people like that. What's her name? The other girl. She was. I mean,
I like Roxanne Shante. I like all of them too. But
I love all of them. All of the women that had even an influence to power, you know, in the positions they held. Just, man, salute to all of the women out there, all the women that have led the way for other artists in the business.
But Miss Music, you letting him get away with not giving me his top 5 female artists. He started off strong. Now you give him all that time to think. He done looked up stats.
I mean, you know, I got to give it up to the females. Like, there's so many female MCs that are talented. Let me put this hands down. So if you didn't catch my category, you know, I'm just letting you know the vibe I caught off some females that was really dope.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dream Collabs. I know you're going to say no, but Dream Collabs.
Dream Collabs. I don't know.
No one? That's a state. Is that a statement in itself? He said Dream Collab. I ain't got none of that. Oh my. I think he got distracted, Miss Music. I think he's looking up I think he's looking up the other 4 female MCs. You're cheating. You're cheating. You're being quiet because you're looking up the other 4 female MCs. You want to see? That's not fair. That's not fair.
No, it's probably you know, technical difficulties again. Yeah, might be a drip call.
I know how this works.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Well, let me ask you, Miss Music, until we can get him back on the line. Like, what do you think about him so far?
I think, you know, I like to see, you know, how it's going to go down with him. I want to see where he's going to go. Sound like he's a good talk game, so, you know, let's see where he goes now.
I'm psyched about him. I think his energy's straight. Like that, and like that. And I'm not going to lie, like, business-wise, that last track plays. I might play that joint again until we can get him back on the line. As a matter of fact, I'm cheating. I'm replaying that joint again until we get him back on the line because that joint right there.
To be successful.
You know what I'm saying? That joint right there, that joint crank. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rewind the joint until we get the artist back on the line because y'all can't lie. That joint right there grew. It surprised me. From the last track to this one, it surprised me. But we're going to replay that joint live on WBOKRadio.com. We're on Court Live Show. Let's crank.
2017. I'm sick. Can I get a million times? What's your name? Perry. I ain't from now. With Fontana. Fuck's that. Nah, I ain't from it. With my BX.
Have you ever seen everything you ever wanted?
Yeah.
But it don't even matter no more, no more.
I ain't from Cali, man.
Fantasy is no better flame, ain't no burning. Just saw you and everything is looking different. Ain't my dream girl, ain't my dream girl, no more.
Your brother called me and shit.
'Cause I saw her that when I wake up I see
Tell me how to
that it's good to
gotta spin it like a Pimp Swear. flight and hit the spirit swell. Like the Dutch, you tripped that on the L. Like the pistol conversation cell. Saw you standing, you was all alone. Ducked off in the cup, brother, blow your phone. It's my opportunity to say hello. She from Fontana, I ain't from Cali, though. Just cool in a challenge just to watch your show. Staring in your eyes, you smiling, no. Told me that you had to protect the bros, and I told you I'm different, I don't fuck with hoes. I respect the females, that's just how it goes. Smoke the highs and stay away from lows. Mix the lemon with the dose and go. You an angel, baby, beautiful. Just grab my hand and we can take it slow.
My dream girl, ain't my dream girl no more.
I'll never understand greatness.
Cause I saw her that when I wake up I see God.
Still spinning. See, I'm spinning like a Ferris wheel. See, I'm spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I ain't going nowhere, nowhere that is touching.
See, I'm spinning like a Ferris wheel.
I did not say
See, I'm spinning like a Ferris wheel.
and though she's imperfect, she's perfect for me. Oh, perfect for me.
Yo.
Awesome.
Hello?
Are you here,
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure you can hear my power went out, so the call just dropped.
Are you good with the story?
You good? You good?
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Why don't you tell us what project you got coming up, and what we can find your music, and what we can find out.
Yeah, I really can't hear you right quick.
Man. Really don't like that. I don't like that.
I can hear you in a second, or I can call back in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, I hear y'all.
I can hear you, Miss Music. I just can't hear him.
Yeah, I heard him for a second, and when you weren't hearing him, I wasn't hearing him either. Well, the funny thing is we on a three-way call, so how the hell we ain't hearing him?
I'm good.
And then you hear him, and he comes in all muffled and stuff. Like, are you driving through the damn mountains again, Yogi?
I can hear you, but I can't hear him.
I know, and I'm on three-way with him, so I don't understand that either. It's probably his connection, but I'm on his connection, which is crazy.
So do I call? So can I call you back on this phone?
I don't know. He'll probably. I don't even know.
And maybe the call will sound clearer.
Yeah.
Hello?
I hear you, Yogi. But, yeah, your signal coming in screwed up. Technology, I swear to God, we paid all this money for what? For shit not to work.
Well,
Yeah, still not being able to understand you. Your connection back. Go ahead and I don't even know what to tell you to do.
No, I'm saying like you just stated. I can hear you. I don't know why that's kind of currently there, but let's go ahead and shout out to everything.
Yeah, I can't even understand you. I think he hung up. Call back in.
Yeah.
Generation changes scar.
Can everybody hear each other now?
I can hear you. Hear me, Miss Music?
Okay. I was going to say, why don't we go on the shout-outs and to where everybody can find all of your music and everything that you're doing?
Yeah. Ken, I want to be able to run this interview back because that breakup and the power outage really, I apologize for that.
Most definitely. We'll most definitely have you back on.
So where you can find the music at right now, just follow me on Instagram, S0_live, Spell Live 300 on Facebook, Snapchat, S0_live. You know what I'm saying? You find the music, social media platforms. Same name.
Same man. Repping Miss Music. Shout outs, Queen. Miss Music.
Yeah, I don't hear Miss Music either, bro. We got to run this interview back, man.
Ridiculous. So what I'm going to do.
I hear you perfectly.
Now you hear me, but we can't hear Miss Music. This is ridiculous. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to get some shout-outs. I'm going to get some shout-outs. We'll have to run this back at another time. But while we have the content that we have, I want to give a shout-out to you for being on with us. Greatly appreciate you. And yeah, I promise you, I already, I had to go pick up my car. I don't like anybody else having my car. I have a very unique vehicle. And it takes very specific things for it to operate properly. And I was without my car from Wednesday until today. And when I pulled off, I took her to the car wash. I brought her home. I didn't even play no music. I just wanted to see how she felt. But tomorrow, while she's freshly polished, I'm cranking that song out. Oh, I swear to God, I am. That joint cranks. I'm going to play that, then I'm going to play Will Smith's Summertime. And then I'm going to play Feeling Like Will. I promise that's the way it's going to go.
Man, I want to talk about this label deal that you might have on the table. I don't know what the label is you're talking of, but I definitely want to contact you and definitely talk about this. You can't talk about that on the radio. You got a lot of people listening.
Well, no, that's okay. Everybody knows who I am. That's why Miss Music and I, we announce who we are and our titles and what we do. It's part of it's not part of our platform is to educate artists as well. That's why the things we were speaking about earlier, I push that a lot for artists because you don't need to sign with someone to figure out how to monetize your music. You know what I mean? It's not the way that works, but people will make a naive artist believe that, especially an artist with a pocket. If they know you have a pocket, everything costs. You know what I'm saying? You talk to me for 2 hours, and it's this much an hour, so that you have to pay for that. And you're like, what? But you're not producing anything. That's not how this works, you know. But that's for us, we're directly based for, you'll hear about us. You probably know about it. It's our artists rock with Kendrick, tour with Kendrick. We have a pro boxer, and Like,
you,
but
you,
it's like,
are you on Instagram? What social media platform do I talk to you? Because you said that, man. You
oh,
want to talk
Yogi
about
1AO, man. Yogi 1AO on Facebook.
What's Facebook? Okay.
On Facebook, you can find me at Larry Yogi Weeks, WEEKS. But if you type in but if you type in Yogi 1AO, YOGI, the number 1AO on any social media platform, that's me.
Did you just get those?
No.
All right.
No,
on
not
Facebook,
at all.
On Facebook, I believe I found you.
Yeah, we're already you already sent me a friend request earlier today.
University.
Yeah, you just sent me the thumbs up in the messenger.
Yep, got it. I just want to make sure I got you.
Yep, same guy. Who'd have thunk it? Got a lot of jobs. I feel like Kevin Gates sometimes.
It's crazy.
I know you just sent me you just sent me a picture.
Yeah, I just sent you the flyer for tonight. I just want to say thank you for the love. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the city. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Trill. Shout out to Tiff. Shout out to Millie. My moms. You know what I'm saying? My mom's a real big supporter of my music, what I'm doing. I got 2 moms, so shout out to the LGBT community. You know what time we on. Shout out to my brother and my family in Orlando. I love my fans worldwide listening. I just appreciate you, Yogi, for having me. Hopefully we can run this back and I had no technical difficulties, maybe next week or something. I just really support what you're doing, and I'm just thankful for you jamming my music. And let's get this label deal, man. I appreciate you. You can't throw something like that on the table because we've been waiting for something like that.
It's separate, though. It's like that's what I do. Like that's one of my jobs. Like I'm an A&R. Like and sheesh, we crank.
I'm saying, let me ask you a question.
We
just before we get over, because I know we don't got a lot of time. If I told you that we have an artist right now, right? Let me just say, like I was just, you're an A&R. You stumble across an artist right now with 200 albums of music and 400 to 600 music videos online of the tour and the music videos. Do you think that has something to offer to the music industry?
Most definitely, but I would be more concerned, as an A&R, I would be more concerned with the people that have been managing your time and your finances, that you would have that much content without it being turned into monetization, or having you looking at sponsorships or placing your music in the movies, video game systems, or anything that can turn you revenue at low risk, that has you keep all your publishing and that you maintain all rights to your music before you even talk to a record label. You get your money up before you reach a label. That's what I would be concerned with. The amount of content that you have without it being monetized already.
Yeah.
Or you having the conversations on how to monetize and where to place your music, so that you're not just thinking about selling an album. You're thinking about selling your brand. You're thinking about selling music, not just to radio, not just for somebody to download it, but you can get residual income off of your music if it's in a video game. Sony has PlayStation as well. They need music for all their video games, don't they? Sony also has Sony Picture, don't they? So does Paramount, which is Xbox. So does Universal. They have some of these companies have theme parks. You don't think? Let me ask you this. Do you think people download a full album or download a DVD first?
They'll download the DVD first.
Right, so if your music's on that DVD, hey, winner, chicken dinner.
I just want to say thanks, Yogi, for having me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to run.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you too, King. We definitely,
I apologize to the fans, man, for the power outage, man. That was really,
no. Hey, never apologize. You're a king. You're out here killing the game, man. Like, as far as it's like, we're very clear over here. Like, when it comes to WBOKRadio.com, especially with the Encore Live, so the other shows that are part of WBOKRadio.com, all of our sponsors, our broadcasting family, we don't have this job without the talent, without the people like you that are out. Like, we don't have a radio show to have content if we don't have artists, if we don't have the stories from the artists, if we don't have the uniqueness of each artist that we have on. So we appreciate you. Our listeners appreciate you for taking time out of your schedule to share who you are with us and share your music with us and let us know who you are. Like, I like you more that I talk to you instead of just listening to your music. Like, as an A&R, I just get, like, press kits, EPKs, and then people still, like, try to just send me random tracks. Or like a YouTube link. You're like, yo, what's good, King? YouTube link. Tell me what you think. I'm like, yo, there's really a way to do this, man. There's really a way to do this. But
well, you know what's crazy is I feel like something to give to you before I jump off here. Just because you're so positive about the record, I really appreciate you showing love to this Ferris Wheels record. So what I'm going to do myself, so that you can have your listeners go on right after this interview, I want you to get this to them exclusively tonight when you get off here. I'm not even playing. I'm sending this to your DM right now. You got the Ferris Wheels music video. Break that, Yogi. No games. We live on the radio. So
the one that we just heard? The one I like?
There's the video right there. Boom, Yogi. It's in your inbox.
See, man.
This how we got to do it.
But, like, see, man, you're going to make me, all right, you know what? I'll push it under WBOKradio.com. But I cannot push it I can't push it underneath the label, and you understand why.
It's
right?
okay. It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the artist that I represent, they'd be like, yo, who is this dude, and why are you putting this shit with our name?
I got you. But you know what? You heard something, and you said you might want to be.
But you are dope. I believe the camp would love you, man. And we're all over the place. Like I said, you calling from L.A., our CEO lives in Vegas, but, like, he's in L.A. I think the artist that we just signed last week out of D.C., The Fleet, I don't know if they went, but they had the opportunity to fly out to L.A., and there's an artist that we managed that booked a 12-hour session with a platinum producer. And he's like, I just want to talk about the concept of this album I want to do. And he's like, I'm not going to use the whole 12 hours. I just want his attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you have to pay for that. But he's like, if y'all want to come, y'all can utilize the rest of the time, record something with them, get something in with them, because you're a part of the team. So, hey. And so shout out to Fleet. Shout out, I don't have to shout my label. But I usually do that during my shout outs. But when it's during your shout outs, I'm not supposed to talk about what I do. Like, Mr. Mitchell's not going to like that at all.
One time for the city, man. One time for L.A., for Florida. Shout out to Mark Wasserman, the Pop Brothers at Law in L.A., shout out to Trill back in Florida, Sean, the whole Euphoria movement, Joe, shout out Oaks. I just got a strong team behind me, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Tiff and everything you're doing. Shout out Johnny and Jolly. Shout out Millie Matrix. Like, I just got a strong team. Like, just good energy behind me, and I just really want to say stay positive, stay loving your family, and just know that, like, there's somebody out there that's just like y'all guys going through some real things, like just like y'all guys are going through it. And you guys are not alone. Stay strong, and remember, we are the generation changers. I appreciate all y'all for listening. I love you guys.
Hey, yo, y'all know what it is. It's Yogi One, yo, man. The younger original gangster imperial, the one and only. We got Miss Music rocking with us. HNIC Mitchell, Charles Mitchell, the curator of the station here at WBOKradio.com, the man that pays all the bills, the man that helps us get all these, the network. I tell you this, jewel for the evening. Something I've said repeatedly through the years of doing this show as the show's developed and grown, as we've had stars on it, we have up-and-coming artists on, we have playwrights, screenwrights, actors. Everyone says the same thing, but then no one wants to put it in motion and actually build your new network for your network. Amen. If you have a small network, do not expect an expansive net worth. It does not work that way. You must work. You must be who you say that you are. Because, believe me, you don't need to be famous for people to say, nah, I've been following dude, and it ain't about that life, yo. But it sounds good. Like, all right, well, it's still marketable. We can handle that. But don't be that guy.
No, man, I got
you laugh because you know what I'm saying. Like, you're like, that's really how it goes. That's really how it. You got 97 bodyguards, but that you rap like you about to hurt the whole stadium. You know what I'm saying?
So this whole thing is recorded, correct? The whole
Yes,
thing,
sir.
including right now.
We'll be able to edit it. We'll be able to edit this and run it back so that you have this, and then we'll be able to reset so that we can go live and make sure that everything goes correctly as well.
Okay, so can I just get I just want a special shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the 352 and all the kids that are affected by this and not being able to graduate, not being able to see their friends. It takes a toll on a lot of these kids out here that are going through it. So I'm glad that this is recorded because there's a lot of kids that are graduating in 2020. I just want to say that we're proud of you guys. Special shout outs to 3 special people that I got in mind. There's a little girl that goes by Amelia Hewitt who strives for really good grades. And I appreciate that, and I don't really get to shine a lot of light on that. Shout out for graduating. Shout out for maintaining your scores and doing what you got to do. Jolly and Johnny, congratulations on graduating too. I think that inspiring the kids around us to know that we still care and we still show love to that work ethic is something positive. So if this is recorded and everybody's listening, shout out to the kids that graduated, and salute to all the kids that graduated in 2020. That's real big, man. They really did something big. They didn't have to graduate. They was going through families going through sickness, people dying. So shout out to all the kids that graduated this year.
That's what it do, the future kings and queens of our nation. Hey, look, y'all know what I want from everybody. Y'all know what I want from everybody. What I say, people, we can say it together. I ain't going to have everybody start clapping their hands or anything. And don't laugh at me because I said that. You know, make me do my, don't make me get my camera, you know, I'm a big old gangster. You know? Nah, y'all know what I want from everybody. I want everybody to stay up, stay blessed, stay motivated, stay tuned in to your goals. COVID-19's crazy. It's thrown everything off, right? But if you were unfocused before it, let's not blame it. Let's be real. Right now is a very good time to reflect. Tune up. Everybody's inside right now. Tune up. Tune yourself up. Be realistic with your ambition. Be realistic with your drive. And then tune your goals to build greater goals. But start. Kings and queens, we're not built here just to live and die. We're built to leave legacies. We're built to stand strong, stand for something, be warriors of a cause, be the voices, faces, be the attitude, be the heart, be the kindness, be the love of a cause. As entertainers, we're on the forefront. We're expected to take all the criticism and still smile and entertain. But we choose that path. We have to remember that some people they didn't sign up for criticism, and they don't take it well. And there's people like the artist that we had on the night that creates music that puts you on a vibe and takes you away from that place if you close your eyes and listen to the music. We're very proud to have had this artist on this evening. We're very grateful to be able to have the responsibility to be able to put some intellectual property out there to the world and be trusted with that. And we greatly appreciate your team for all the influence they have on you. We greatly appreciate you for the influence that you have on the youth. And to the OGs out here that are going to crank it. I'm telling you, you're going to see a whole bunch of people in old school cutlasses and box Chevys. Cranking that show.
You ain't even lying, man. I need to send this video you're supporting. Just shout out to the city, man. One time. Shout out to the 352 and the 813. And rest in peace, long live JR 2020, man. Long live JR.
Hey, yo, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in. We sure appreciate you. Love and respect, kings and queens. Until next week, we out.